Hi, this is John Donovan, General Manager of WS Radio and host of Las Vegas is Talking. Don't be alarmed, but there's been a murder in Las Vegas. It's already occurred, and I'm going to be working with the staff of CSI Las Vegas at the MGM Hotel. They're going to be on our show. Don't miss it. We have to solve this murder.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Las Vegas is Talking with your host, the voice of Southern Nevada, John Donovan.
Hey, this is John Donovan, and welcome to Las Vegas is Talking on a beautiful December day. It's about 62, 63 degrees outside. It's absolutely perfect. There's no wind, and we're broadcasting live once again from Jon Stewart's Legends Ranch, 17 acres in the heart of Las Vegas. Vegas grew up around his home. There's 32 horses here, chickens and dogs running around. We also have John Kelly today, who's videotaping our segment today. Hi, John. He's waving back and forth.
Hi.
And John is with Where to Las Vegas. So we're experimenting, combining internet radio with internet video, and we'll get back to you on some of those great things that we're doing here. This is going to be an interesting segment. I have two guests with me today. And let me just say this. In this town in Las Vegas, there are a lot of choices for everything, and that really includes entertainment. Where are you going to go to spend your money? What do you want to do? And when we think of entertainment, the first thing I think of are the big shows, the medium-sized shows, and there's shows up and down the Strip, everything from Cirque to Voices at the Hilton and the Tigers and Magic of Rick Thomas down at the Sahara. So we've got our choices on where to spend money. But I wasn't aware that this particular event, or exhibit I should say, was being held at the MGM Grand Hotel until I had an opportunity to meet Jennifer Balsat, who is the marketing manager with CSI The Experience. And with her today joining us is Heather Kalajian, who is the director of marketing for CSI The Experience. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the CSI The Experience. It's obviously a very popular TV show. When did it transition from just being a TV show to an interactive exhibit?
We opened the exhibit in September. Yes.
September 12th.
September 12th. And actually, the program had been traveling. There was CSI, the exhibit was traveling, a traveling show here in the United States. And it had begun with a children's program in partnership. So it was more slated towards children. It was a traveling exhibit. We actually prefer to call it an experience.
An experience.
Yes, because exhibit...
It really is.
Well, yes, because exhibit tends to sound a little dry. It sounds like something that you just get to look at and not participate in.
It sounds static as opposed to interactive.
Exactly, more museum-ish, if you will. So we've chosen to call it the experience, and for good reason, as you've noticed. We engage the guest from the very beginning of the show, and they become... of the experience, and they become a crime scene investigator. Yeah. So at that point, so in September we opened the doors, and it's been a wonderful, positive experience for all of us. We do a large amount of school groups, so we do range in age. 12 is the preferred age, 12 and up. So we range in age from 12 to however old you think you can still solve the crime.
Well, I found it by walking down through. It's called the Studio Walk, I believe, in the MGM.
Correct.
But as you're walking through the Studio Walk on the right-hand side, there's all this wonderful signage for CSI The Experience. So what happens? Walk us through this, no pun intended, but walk us through how it works.
So once you purchase your ticket and you come down the escalators into CSI The Experience, you actually take on the role of the crime scene investigator. And so we have 3 different crime scenes that you can choose from. So once you've chosen your crime scene, you start out with an introductory video by Anthony Zeiger, who is the creator of the actual television series. And then you're visited by Gail Grissom, who basically tells you it's your job to solve this crime. And so then you go through and you view your crime scene, and you have a crime scene report in front of you. And on that sheet, there's a diagram, and you're taking down all of your evidence, and you're writing everything down and making sure you pay attention to every detail. And once you've gathered all of your evidence, you go into our 2 interactive labs. and we have different computers. Everything is touchscreen. It's very high technology. And you're using different forensics to solve the crime. And once you've gone through a series of lab stations and you've gathered all of that data, you go and you view an autopsy. And then once you've seen that, you actually submit your case report to Grissom. And you see if you got all the answers right. And then you also see a brief video that shows you what really happened.
Yeah, that is so cool. And what's the, I know you're not under any time restraint. You can spend as much time as you want going through it. What's the average? How long do people spend
On average, 60 to 90 minutes, but it's completely at your own pace.
Yeah, yeah. What I found interesting, I found all of it interesting, but in the autopsy part, there's basically a cadaver that's covered from the waist down. But the way you've done this is so cool, is that there's an image, I guess, projected from above that almost like when you go in for a CAT scan, it changes layer upon layer so you can actually see inside. We went and we looked at the crime scene, which was a desert scene. And you know what I saw? Nothing. I didn't see any clues, so I don't think I'd be real good at this. But how many are there? I mean, at the desert one, do you know offhand?
How many pieces of evidence?
Yeah, how many pieces?
At least 6.
Yeah.
6, and John came up with 0. So, wow. I mean, I saw a desert and I saw rocks in skeletons, and I think that was about
Well, a skeleton is part of
That's
it.
good.
Okay, that's good. You know, now we have a worldwide audience. We have a very large audience that listens to us live from Japan, all over the world on WS Radio. So, is CSI? Does anybody know the television program? Is it strictly in the States, or do they have a
worldwide? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has CSI between the 3 programs. It's Las Vegas. Obviously, was the very first CSI show. Then we went to Miami and New York. Between the 3 shows, it holds 35% of the market share worldwide in television.
No way.
Yeah, it's the #1 most successful series.
35% of the market share.
Huge. Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes. So, and we are very obviously worldwide. That means, but it is a very extremely popular. It's a bit cultish, you know. They really follow and know the characters and know what different advancements they make in their careers. And if you'll notice on the 3 television shows now, 3 of the leads in the shows are movie actors. We're primarily movie actors, so their appeal is huge to every audience.
Wow. So there's still 3 going on in the United States now?
Absolutely.
New York,
Miami,
Vegas,
and Vegas. And Las Vegas is simply called CSI.
Can we talk a little bit about your company that produces this show? They're based out of in Europe, I think, aren't
Vienna.
they? In Vienna. And what kind of events do they promote?
They do over 400. They do live events. They do production shows. They do also just exhibitions. So even things like CSI The Experience, there's many other exhibits that they have that have been very successful.
Okay. And anything else in this country, or is everything pretty much overseas that they produce?
Pretty much everything else is overseas as of now.
Wow.
And they sort of test them out over there and then decide if they want to bring them to the United States, and they if they want to bring them across Europe, different places like that.
Got it. I mentioned to you how fast time's going to go by, so we've already gone through the first segment of the show. Okay. I mean, it just absolutely disappears, and we've got about 30 seconds left. I want to remind people before we break that we are talking about CSI The Experience at the MGM Grand Hotel. And stay tuned, because our guests are going to stay with us, and we're going to talk more about the experience and give you some more in-depth information. So this is John Donovan, and as usual, I am so pleased to be broadcasting today. Las Vegas is talking live from Jon Stewart's Legends Ranch on WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.